What is up, Earthnoids and Space Noids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we're concluding Mobile Suit Gundam Escalation, Tomino's original Gundam novel. Last time, Amuro and Sayla had sex. Kaecilia's new type team attacked the moon, and the Pegasus 2 crew are prepping for Operation Chimbalo. This time, Amuro butts heads with the new Cosmo Fighter commander. The team goes up against Char's new type squad in a debris field, and Kusko and Amuro face off. So let's get into this. Mirai looked at Amuro's files, and it seems like the Federation is using this crew as some sort of new type secret weapon. No one really knows exactly what a new type is at this point. Bright is just focused on surviving this war, but if they do, they will be treated as heroes. The crew is starting to bond more. Meanwhile, Char is flirting with a girl named Margaret Ring Blair. This is Kaecilia's assistant. Char feels a strong attachment to her, but doesn't want to create a savior complex like he did with Lala Soon. He asks how the scar on his face makes her feel. She says it is quite ugly, but it works for him. Remember, this is a self-inflicted wound to hide features that make him look like Zeon Daikun, and it gives him an excuse to wear the mask. Dude literally forgets about Lala relatively quickly. Lieutenant Commander McVary's 203rd Squad finally came to support the Pegasus 2. They used the Tomahawk Cosmo Fighter. The Tomahawk Cosmo Fighter is a space fighter used by the Earth Federation forces, with verniers on the wings. There is no image of this fighter, but the closest thing would be the Toriadis, but with a fatter fuselage. These are old and have plexiglass canopies, but they are still very fast. Weapons for these fighters are unknown. McVary doesn't get along with the Pegasus 2 crew. Kai and the other crew members talk shit about the commander. The 127th Autonomous Corps currently consists of the Pegasus, the Cypress, and the Graydon. They are heading to a point called Area 365, which makes up one point of the Zeon Triangle, the other 2 points being Apawaku and Solomon. They won't have support when they head into this area. McVary thinks they are going to die during this mission. The Gundam, gun cannons, and gems head out for formation exercises to keep all the pilots on their toes. The Elmeth hasn't been spotted since the LH Moon incident. Amuro has a sudden urge to survive the war and claims it is because of Sayla. He thinks that the relationship with Sayla, and to a lesser extent Lala, is something that transcends physical desires. G3 comes in for landing. Commander McVary tries to start shit with Amuro, but he plays it off. McVary thinks of the Gundam as a giant toy. Amuro heads to the briefing room. The Cosmo fighters come to the briefing room as well. Bright wants Amuro to brief the team as the Mobile Suit Commander. Amuro tells him that they would have been dead if this was real combat. He tells the team not to worry about the old guard, and looks McVary in the eyes. That's right, I'm talking about you, bitch. McVary tells him that he needs to be more concrete with his men. He is being too ideological. Amuro relates the new type sense to Ki, a situational pressure of the sense. Their judgment would have gotten them killed. Kai says, "Even me? Yeah, dude." Amuro believes that the Elmeth pilot is an even stronger new type than Lala. We know this is Kusko. She is emitting waves that enemies hear in their head. The noise that people heard when Lala approached them in the main series is given more to Kusko in the novels. Mid-briefing, it clicks in Amuro's head that the pilot is most likely Kusko, who he already encountered. Amuro continued discussing tactics for over 2 hours. Sayla is the last one in the room after the briefing with Amuro. She is still insecure about mentioning wanting to kill her brother. They ponder about new types. They can't read minds, but 2 new types can create a bridge that ultimately helps in better human understanding. Amuro finds Sayla attractive in the moment, but he is trying to keep his emotions in check before the upcoming battle. Must tame boner. Amuro asks if Sayla could feel it. Char and Kusko are definitely on their way. Sayla says she felt a sort of pressure, but chalked it up to stress. Amuro thinks that they have to put a stop to this operation. He says that they need to figure out who is dragging out this war. She thinks he is crazy. Sayla says it is easier being an only child because you don't have to worry about losing someone you love, referring to Char. Amuro, being an only child, finds this offensive, so he just gets up and walks out of the room. Kusko is informed that they are going up against the person who took down Lala. She tells Chalia Bull that she has met the pilot before on Side 6. She thinks to herself, do I like a Fetty? At Solomon, they notice a blip. The 127th reach Area 365. Revel hopes that Kaecilia believes that this force is carrying new types. whether it is actually true or not. The 127th gets a red alert. The Cosmo fighters launch. 3 Musais approach with 6 Zakus. Bright readies the main cannons and fires. The skies light up. Pegasus 2 begins evading. Mirai dodges a bombardment. They fire anti-air missiles. Pegasus then fires the cannons again and are able to take down 1 Musai. But Zakus are responding. McVary's team is on their way. Amuro and the mobile suits intercept the Zakus. Sarkis takes on the Commander Zaku. It evades his attack and moves in on him. Amuro comes to save the day. He tells Sarkis to get it together. They move fast before another Zaku fires at them. They all get a kill, leaving 1 Zaku, who retreats. Kriya tries to shoot, but it gets away. McVary and his team focuses on the cruisers. They handled this with precision. McVary lost 4 fighters and blames it on Amuro. They argue once again over the validity of new types. Revel sends out a blue signal flare which alerts the commander to open an encrypted message. This finally told them of their next target, a Bawaku. Bright and his team's mission is to destroy any forces coming from Solomon. They will be targeted by both Solomon and Bawaku. Shar and his new type team is most likely coming for them. On the flagship, the Gandao, Dozel is infuriated that 3 ships just went down. He wants to beef up his armada and makes his way towards Bawaku. He wants to teach Revel a lesson. Kaisili is hoping to meet with the Federation's new type forces. She also wants to ensure that Gurren doesn't go through with the system project. Shar wants to abandon Bawaku and flee. He tells Margaret to take care of herself, but gestures to come meet him outside. He tells her to focus on survival over anything else and to not do anything rash. His fleet heads out to search where the Gundam sunk the Musai cruiser. Chalya and Kusko butt heads, so she hangs out in the Elmeth cockpit. She finally comes to terms with the fact that she has to kill Amuro even though she likes him. McVary reminds everyone that over 5 billion have died during this war. Human population is going to be hard to keep up now. Bright says that many see this as a form of population control. This makes Amuro mad. But Bright says, yeah man, welcome to the real world. Sayla tries to calm Amuro down. She reminds him that if he wants to see new types thrive, they have to defeat the old ways of thinking. The 127th took down 2 Chevets, 4 Salamis cruisers, 3 Zakus, and a Jiko attack ship. They took them down in less than 15 minutes. Amuro and McVary became friendly after this. Shar believes that they may be true new types. He gives a speech to his men. 7 Rickdoms launch with Kusko Al and the Elmeth. They are luring the Pegasus into the debris field. On Luna 2, Frau is working at a local military vehicle maintenance plant. She now has custody of Kika, Let's, and Katz. She gave up on her dreams of becoming a fashion designer, as she has mouths to feed now. Amuro thinks that they are walking into an ambush. Bright decides to plan accordingly. G3 launches. Kusko waits in her Elmeth. She thought for a moment about throwing a wrench in Shar and Chalya's plan. The Elmeth, followed by the Rickdoms, pop out of the debris field and begin their attack. Kusko releases her bits. Their home ship, the Madagascar, readies its cannons. In the novel, Tomino mentions that the bits all have cameras, which the feed is sent directly into Kusko Al's brain via the Psychomu. That's kinda neat. One of the Elmeth's bits are destroyed. It is the Gundam. She then feels hatred for men who start wars. The Madagascar fires off one of its nukes. Amuro aims his sights on the nuke. Kai and Hayato take care of some of the Elmeth's bits and cover the Gundam's back. He takes down the nuke, causing everything to shudder. He then pushes forward, but the Elmeth stops him. The pilot is faster than Lala. Kusko Al projects new type waves around her. She closes in on the Gundam. Shar comes in to help her. She still wonders if she was just fighting Amuro. Shar tells Kusko to retreat. She gets out of there fast, but she feels something emanating from the Gundam. It bugs her so much that she re-engages with the mobile suit. Amuro tries to keep on top of the Elmeth. He isn't able to get a shot on the mobile armor, but he is able to kick the Elmeth. The Gundam uses its Vulcans to take out a bit with a nuclear missile. The Elmeth and the Gundams clash over and over. Kai and Hayato make sure no one interrupts Amuro. Bashar breaks through their defenses. He tries to get a lock on the Gundam, but struggles. This is just like the battle with Lala. The 3 of them dance as they try to hit one another. The Gundam swiftly slices through Shar's Rickdom's leg. Shar has to disengage. As he retreats, he hears the new type ringing in his ears. He tries to reach Kusko, but gets nothing. Amuro and Kusko are connected. He tries to tell Kusko to retreat via new type thoughts. Amuro realizes this truly is Kusko Al. His response to this is, "Just so you know, I never wanted to sleep with you." Kusko says, yes you did, and you totally could have scored if you made a move. The Gundam takes out her final bit. Shar tries to interfere as Kusko throws up in her pilot suit. Amuro strikes the Elmeth and a silver light emits. He then sees Kusko's past. Her mother is being stabbed by a Fetty soldier. Her father is already dead laying on the floor. Kusko, Al, and the Elmeth are incinerated. McVary moves in on the fleet. Char needs to retreat, but sees the Gundam. Char yells at Amuro for killing Kusko. Amuro says, "Don't make me kill you like your sister wanted." This greatly affects Char. Another light goes off. It is a nuclear bomb. Amuro fires at Char when his beam rifle explodes. He has no choice but to retreat. Sarkis was killed during this battle, along with 3 of McVary's men. Also, the Graydon was destroyed. He tells Sayla that she told Char what she said about killing him earlier. She decides to slap him. Outside of the debris field, they get some rest. Soon, the final attack on Abawa Ku will take place. And that will conclude Mobile Suit Gundam Escalation. The relationship dynamics were definitely the most interesting part of this novel, simply because the battle dynamics were the exact same as the Lala arc. They just did the same thing again. However, we get a wealth of sexual understanding when it comes to Amuro. Tomino makes everyone awkward and autistic even in the bedroom. However, he ensures that Amuro stands on business with some sense of honor. Next time we begin the final novel, Mobile Suit Gundam Confrontation. Giran plans on using the solar ray to kill his brother and sister, as the Supreme Commander has a fear of new types. Amuro and Sayla's relationship begins to unravel, and the boys do something really weird with something called an amulet. Guess what gross thing the amulet is made of? But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, don't tell your lover's brother's secrets that she tells you in the bedroom. Peace.